Habib was a boy whom the villagers used to think of as good for nothing. His parents would tell him, "Stop roaming around the village with your friends and do some work." But Habib kept wandering aimlessly through the village. Eventually, his parents got fed up and sent him abroad. In a foreign country, he got a job in a deserted desert, and he started working there. One stormy night, in that lonely and dangerous desert, suddenly 5 Arab girls came to him. They were in need of help, and Habib helped them. After that, those 5 Arab girls started spending the night with Habib. They started liking him so much that they gave him a job and began paying him double salary. But the question was, why were they doing all this? Did Habib blackmail them? Or did they really fall in love with Habib? To find out, watch the story till the end. In a remote region of Bangladesh, there was a small village. In that village, there was a mud house. Very simple, a true reflection of poverty. 3 people lived in that house: Habib, his mother, and his father. Habib was a hard-working boy. He was never afraid of physical labor, but he had one big weakness. He always ran away from studies. Even in their poverty, his parents dreamed that their son would study and become something one day. Every day they prepared him for school, handed him his bag, gave him some money, and sent him off with a prayer. Habib would confidently take the bag and leave the house. But instead of going to school, he would go to a local hotel, drink tea with friends, smoke cigarettes, and chat away. Sometimes he would even go to watch movies. And when school hours ended, he would return home, pretending as if he had spent the whole day studying. His parents, unaware of the truth, stayed happy. They thought their son was progressing in school. Habib would often ask for money in the name of school fees, books, uniform, and notebooks. But instead of spending it on school, he would waste it all on fun and leisure with friends. Days passed like this, then weeks, then months. One day, his father had to go to the city for an urgent task. Upon reaching the city, he felt tired and had a headache, so he decided to have a cup of tea at a small hotel. As soon as he entered, his eyes widened in shock. Right in front of him, at a table, Habib was sitting with his friends, laughing out loud. Tea was being served, they were chatting without a care. Seeing this scene, his father was stunned. His heart sank. He stood silently at the door for a few moments. Then slowly, he walked toward Habib and sat beside him. As soon as Habib saw his father, his face turned pale. His hands and legs started trembling. Shame filled his eyes. In a soft but deeply painful voice, his father said, "Son, this is what you do with the money you take from us every day, in the name of school bag, uniform, and books. You sit here drinking tea and laughing?" Habib immediately tried to lie. "Dad, today the school was closed. The teacher didn't come, so I came here with friends to have some tea. I go to school every day, I never skip. You know that, right, Dad?" His father listened to him, but deep down, he understood everything. He realized that his son had been fooling him for a long time. Still, he remained silent. He just said, "Son, if school was off, you could have come home. You could have eaten and worked with me. You know I've grown old now. Whether it's scorching heat or freezing cold, I still work. So that you can study, so that you can become someone. I'm just counting the days until your studies are over, you get a job, and I can finally put down the burdens of this field." Habib lowered his eyes. His voice grew heavy. "Father, I've truly made a mistake. From now on, if school is off, I'll come straight home and work alongside you in the field." His father said nothing. He silently got up and returned home. That night, he didn't speak to anyone, not to his wife, not to his son. He just wandered around in silence, as if suppressing a storm within his heart. But deep down, he had made a decision. From now on, he would believe what he sees with his own eyes. Not words, but actions. Once home, Habib's father lost his patience. He held his son's hand and asked, "Son, you said school was off yesterday. But the truth is, you haven't been to school in over a year. Why? What have we deprived you of?" His father's voice trembled. "I labor in the fields all day. Whether it's blistering heat or bitter cold, I work so you can study. I never buy new clothes for myself, but I get you a uniform. I stay thirsty for a cup of tea, and your mother skips buying her medicine. Just to save money so we can buy your books. And you deceived us. You never went to school. The money we gave you used it to have fun with your friends." Saying this, tears rolled down his father's cheeks. His mother, crying, looked at Habib's face and silently walked into the room. His father followed her in. Habib stood in one corner, ashamed, remorseful, completely silent. That day, for the first time, he truly felt that he had made a huge mistake. He began to hate himself. He realized that the hope his parents had carried for him, he had only betrayed. That night, Habib couldn't sleep. He lay in bed and made a strong decision in his heart. No matter what, I'll become something. I'll make my parents proud. The next morning, he got up early, took a shower, got ready, and went out to look for a job. He wandered all day here and there. Wherever he asked for work, there was only one question. "How much have you studied?" And he remained silent, because he hadn't studied at all. He had only wasted time, wandered around without a goal. That's why no one wanted to hire him for a decent job. In the evening, tired and hopeless, he returned home. Then he thought, if I couldn't become something through education, then at least now. I shouldn't become a burden on my family. So he decided it would be better if he started labor work. From the next day, Habib began working as a laborer. Sometimes he carried bricks. Sometimes he pulled a rickshaw. Whatever work he could find, he did it. Whatever little money he earned, he brought home and gave it to his mother. His parents were happy seeing the change in him. But there was also sorrow that their son had become a laborer. They had hoped he would become an officer someday, have a respectable job. But now it had become hard to console their hearts. A few days later, mother and father spoke among themselves. This boy has changed, but working as a laborer here won't be enough for us or for him. Why don't we send him abroad? Maybe he'll earn better there, and his life will turn around. Habib quietly listened to his parents' conversation from another room. He didn't say anything at the time. Just lay on the bed thinking, father and mother are right. If I go abroad, even if it's still labor work, the earnings will be 2 or 3 times more than here. If I earn 300 taka per day here, there I might earn 3,000. With that money, I'll fulfill all of mother's wishes. Father won't have to go to the fields anymore. The next morning, he went to his parents himself and said, Ma, Abba, I heard your conversation yesterday. I'm ready to go abroad. Please make the arrangements. I'll go. I'll do whatever work I can find. Father said, first make your national ID card. Then I'll take care of the passport and visa. Habib quickly got both done. But the problem was money. His father was poor. He didn't have enough to arrange the visa and ticket. Finally, with a heavy heart, he sold a small piece of ancestral land. Within a few weeks, Habib reached Saudi Arabia. There, he stayed at the home of an old acquaintance who was himself a laborer. Habib didn't know Arabic, nor the local customs. In the new environment, he was scared, but he didn't give up. After a few days, he started working with his companions. Whatever job he could find, he did it. Sometimes he carried loads, sometimes he cleaned, sometimes worked in gardens. The salary was very low. He was barely managing to survive and had nothing left to send to his parents. Habib had a desire to get a good job, a job that could relieve his parents of all sorrows. He began asking around his acquaintances if there was any job that paid well, even if it was hard, as long as the money was good. One day, a friend told him, "There is a job. It's definitely hard, but the pay is very good. If you can manage it, your parents' every wish could come true." Habib immediately said, "Tell me what the job is. I'm ready to do anything." The friend said, "Far from here, in the middle of a deserted desert, there's a farm called a mazra in Arabic. There are date palms, some goats and camels. You'll have to take care of them. It's lonely, a quiet place. But the salary is 4,000 to 5,000 reals." Without thinking, Habib agreed right away. His friend spoke to the Arab farm owner, who was already in need of a worker because the current one was going on leave. Hearing this, the owner said, "That's perfect. I need someone immediately. If he's ready, bring him tomorrow." The next day, the Arab owner himself came with his car and set out with Habib. Habib stared out the window. There was only one question in his heart. When will we reach that place? The car had left in the evening. Now it was morning. The sun had already risen, but the destination had still not arrived. Habib got scared. It really was very far. Perhaps a place cut off from the world. He remained silent throughout the journey. Sometimes he looked out the window at the desert. Sometimes he closed his eyes and thought of his parents. Abu is probably still sweating in the fields. Ami is maybe skipping medicine to save money. And I'm going to an unknown desert. Thinking this, he made himself strong and went completely silent. Finally, after a journey of one full day and one night, he reached a remote place. When Habib looked around, his heart shook. All around there was only sand, dry trees, and emptiness. No people, no birds, no animals. Only silence, stillness. Inside the farm there were some goats, camels, and date trees. A few animals were wandering. The rest, emptiness. The Arab owner took down bags of food from the car. Some lentils, rice, a few vegetables, and cans of water. He said, "This is 15 days worth of supplies. I will return after 15 days. Cleaning the dates, taking care of the animals, everything is your responsibility." Then he briefly explained the work to Habib and left. Habib stood there, alone. For the first time he wondered where he had ended up. His heart wanted to talk to his parents. Immediately he pulled out his phone from his pocket. But when he saw no signal on the screen, his hand started to tremble. No people, no phone. Where have I come? His heart wanted to run away that very moment. But instantly he remembered, it took one full day by car to get here. If he walked, it would take a month, and on the way, he'd die from hunger or thirst. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and told himself, "I have to stay here now, no matter what." After a few days, he began to understand the daily routine. Cleaning the dates, feeding the goats, giving water to the camels. He had to do everything himself. With time, the farm started to feel less like a prison and more like home. 1 year passed. Now the farm had become his second home. Sometimes when his heart felt very lonely, he would climb a tall hill behind the farm. From there he could occasionally get mobile signal, and he could talk to his parents. That was his only comfort. One night he was sleeping in his tent. There was storm, rain, and wind. In the desert, when the weather gets bad, tents fly away. Habib was asleep. Suddenly, he felt like someone was shouting loudly, calling out. His heart jumped. In this deserted desert so late at night, who could be shouting? He got up and started to walk toward the door, then stopped. "No, I won't go outside." He peeked through the window. In the distance, he saw a car's headlights. He thought to himself, Maybe the Arab owner has come. Maybe his car got stuck in the rain. Thinking that, he immediately ran. In the storm and the dark, he ran toward the light. After running a long way, when he reached near the car, he saw shadows standing around it. He stopped. His heart felt uneasy. Who could they be at this hour? Could it be danger? But as he got closer, he heard female voices. They were shouting for help. Now, instead of fear, he began to feel sympathy. They're women. They need help. He went straight to them and gently asked, "Sister, what happened? Why are you shouting?" The women immediately came to Habib. They were shivering and said, "Alhamdulillah, at least we found one person. We thought some wild animal would eat us." Habib comforted them. "Don't be afraid. Tell me, what happened?" One of them said, "We had gone out for a trip. Suddenly a sandstorm came. We lost our way. There was no signal on our phones. Then it started to rain. We got stuck here. The car shut down. We couldn't understand anything. We were just praying to Allah that someone would show up." Habib pointed toward his farm in the distance and said, "I have a place to stay over there. Come with me. You'll be safe from the rain, and you'll be comfortable there." The girls immediately went with him. Habib brought them to the farm, gave them water, listened to their story, and comforted them. "Don't worry now, I'm here, you're safe. In the morning I'll show you the way." Habib had only one blanket and one pillow. He gave both to the girls and stayed up himself, like a guard. Despite the rain and the storm, his heart was happy. At least after so much loneliness, he got to hear human voices. The whole night Habib sat in one corner of the room. Outside there was a storm and rain. The sound of the storm shook the heart, but in his heart there was a strange peace. After so many years he felt the presence of people again. The 5 girls quickly fell asleep from exhaustion, but Habib stayed awake, looking at their faces thinking, "Thank God. At least today there's someone to talk to, someone to listen." Otherwise, for the last 1.5 to 2 years, only the Arab owner would come. That too once every 15 days, drop off supplies and leave. "This is the first time someone is spending a night with me." That too selflessly. As soon as morning came, Habib immediately lit the stove, made tea, and prepared breakfast. When the girls woke up, they smiled and said, "Let's have breakfast, then you can show us the way." The girls were surprised that with such few resources, he still managed to make breakfast for them. They had tea, ate some more food, and said, "Please take us back to the car. Last night we walked all the way in fear of the storm." Habib immediately got ready and went with them to the car. The car was stuck in the same old spot, buried in the sand. When they tried to start it, the car didn't work at all. Everyone tried one by one. They opened the bonnet, checked the battery, pushed it. But nothing happened. The girls became hopeless. Habib silently thanked God in his heart. "At least we'll get to spend one more night together." The girls, feeling hopeless, told Habib, "Can't you do something? Please get the car to start." Habib gave a slight smile and said, "I'm not a car expert. I've tried, but nothing seems to work." Then he said, "My Arab owner came 10 days ago. He usually comes every 15 days. Maybe he'll arrive within the next 5 or 6 days. If he does, he'll fix the car too. Otherwise, you can go to the city with him." The girls discussed among themselves and finally agreed. "All right, at least it's safe here. Let's stay 5 more days." Habib brought them back to his room. Now, the girls were no longer afraid like before. There were smiles on their faces. They began to ask Habib questions. "Where are you from?" Habib replied simply, "I'm from Bangladesh." "In such a deserted desert, how do you live? What kind of compulsion made you stay here?" Habib took a deep breath and told them his full story. How he used to be a disobedient boy, didn't go to school, would lie to his parents. Finally, when his parents found out everything, he was so ashamed that he tried to change himself. Then he started working for wages. But even that wasn't enough. So he came abroad to fulfill the wishes of his parents. The girls were silently listening. Their faces reflected sympathy. One girl slowly said, "Is your Bangladesh so poor? Do people really go abroad just for a plate of rice?" Habib replied simply, "Yes." In our country, even now, there are millions of people who don't get 2 meals a day. Hearing this, the girls were shocked. One of them said, "In our country, we get everything easily since childhood. We never imagined that such a life exists in this world." Habib's simplicity and honesty touched their hearts. They started asking questions about Bangladesh. What are the people like? What's the weather like? Who lives in your home? Habib smiled and answered everything. He described his village's river, trees, green fields, and his small house. The girls were amazed to hear all of this, and silently began to think, "We must visit Bangladesh someday. Such a simple and beautiful country." They made a promise to Habib, "If we ever come to Bangladesh, we'll definitely visit your home." Habib smiled and said, "If I'm in Bangladesh at that time, I'll make tea for you with my own hands." The girls laughed. "No, if we come, we'll take you along too." Habib laughed as well. In this laughter and joy, the days started passing. 5 days went by, but the Arab owner didn't arrive. The girls became worried. "You said he comes every 15 days. Now it's been 6 days, but he hasn't come yet." Habib also became concerned. "Yes, I'm surprised too, and to be honest, the supplies are running low." Hearing this, the girls got even more worried. They silently made a decision. "When we return to the city, we'll tell our parents everything, and we'll help someone like Habib come out of this lonely prison and live a better life. Such a simple, honest, and devoted person can only be found by fortune." That evening, the Arab owner arrived at the farm. Habib clearly explained everything. How the 5 girls got stuck in the rain, and how they had been staying with him for the past 5 days. The Arab owner didn't object. Instead, he himself took the girls back to the city in their car. The girls' parents were very worried, but when the girls told the full truth about Habib's character, honesty, protection, and sincerity, their parents' hearts softened. They told the girls, "If that boy agrees to work with you, then definitely bring him. People like him are rare these days." A few days later, the girls returned to the farm again, wearing the same simple clothes, with the same smiles, and with a new proposal. "Habib, bye, come with us. We'll give you double the salary, a comfortable place, respect, and shade." Habib remained silent for a while, then slowly said, "I was alone here, it's true. But by your kindness, I became human again. If you give me permission, then I'm ready to come." And that was it. They took him with them. Now, Habib started his new job. He became their driver, their helper, and now, even their friend. Wherever they needed to go, he would drive them, bring them back, do the shopping, handle supplies, clean the house, manage all the essential things. But more important than all of that were the evenings, when everyone would sit together, drink tea, talk, laugh, and support one another. All 5 girls now no longer saw Habib as just a helper, but as a friend, a companion. Habib also became open with them. He shared everything about his mother, his childhood mischief, and the sacrifices of his parents. Time started flying by. It had been 2 years since Habib had gone to Bangladesh. One day the girls asked him, "Habib, how long has it been since you went home?" He looked down and replied, "It's been 2 years." But I was so busy here I didn't even realize how fast time flew. The girls discussed and said, "You should take a vacation. We'll give you a good amount of money. We'll even take you shopping. Go spend some time with your parents, then come back." Habib was surprised, and deep down he was very happy. He had never received so much money at once. They bought him new clothes, gifts, and essentials. They handed him the ticket with a smile and said, "Now go. And tell everyone in your village that Habib is no longer the old Habib." When Habib returned to his village, the whole scene had changed. The same boy, who until yesterday was considered useless, lazy, and a failure, was now the owner of a bungalow, arriving in a car, wearing new clothes, head slightly bowed, silent, but standing tall. His parents were surprised, happy, and emotional. His father placed a hand on Habib's shoulder and said, "Son, now you have everything. A nice house, respect, a car. Now get married. We'll bring your bride." Habib smiled gently. "Not yet, Baba. When it's time for marriage, I'll tell you. Right now, my heart tells me to go back." A few days later, he took permission from his parents. "I'm returning to Arabia again. When I come home next time, we'll talk about marriage." His parents blessed him and sent him off with prayers. Habib remained in touch with the 5 girls the entire time. Before returning, he asked them, "Shall I bring something for you all?" They said, "No, brother. We don't need anything." But was Habib the kind of guy to just agree? He bought a special gift for each of them. Banarasi saris, Kashmiri saffron, gulab jamuns, and some beautiful bangles. When he returned to Arabia and gave the gifts to the girls, their faces lit up with joy. Now, Habib was not just a worker to them, he had become their companion, a part of their lives. Wherever they went, they took him along. They talked to him, shared their hearts, laughed, and joked. Habib's presence had become a source of peace and trust for them. Amidst this silence, another feeling began to grow in their hearts. Love. 5 girls, different personalities, different behaviors, but the same heart, the same desire. They all began to want Habib from their hearts, and maybe they had started to fall in love with him. By now, Habib had become their trust, their friend, and their need. Wherever they went, Habib was with them. Whether it was household chores, grocery shopping, or attending an event, Habib would be their companion. But now, within the softness, a strange tension began to form. If any one girl needed something, she would immediately call Habib. "Habib bhai, you have to come with me today. I have to go somewhere." Habib would silently go, but as soon as he left, the other girls would start calling repeatedly. "Habib, where are you? Who are you with? Why didn't you tell us?" Habib had a simple heart. He would only reply, "I'm at a function with your friend." But the real truth was something else. In the hearts of all 5 of them, a feeling for Habib had grown, something they couldn't share with each other, nor could they deny it to themselves. Now each of them wanted Habib to be only theirs, to spend more time with them, to listen to them, to look at them. If he spent more time with someone else, it sparked jealousy in the hearts of the others. The friends who used to sit together joyfully now began sitting in silence. Their eyes were full of questions, their words sharp, and their hearts restless. At first, Habib didn't notice these things. He thought, maybe they're tired or annoyed for some reason. But then it started happening every day. One day someone was angry, another day someone was silent, and on the 3rd day someone was scolding him. "Habib, you only go with her now, don't you? Today you're not even helping us with our work." Habib became confused. He thought, "I came here to work. I found respect. I found peace. But now this has become something else. If one day any of them tells their parents anything, I could be thrown out of here. Even jailed. One night, Habib was sitting on the rooftop, looking up at the sky, while a storm raged in his heart. What should I do? I don't want to hurt anyone, but this is heading in the wrong direction. The next morning, he made a decision. The 5 girls were having breakfast when Habib respectfully said, "If you allow me, I would like to quit this job. I'm getting tired. I want to look for other work." Everyone was stunned, as if someone had grabbed their hearts. They all spoke at once. "Habib, why? Any complaint? Did someone say something?" Habib softly replied, "No, no one said anything. I just felt that because of me, cracks are forming in your friendship. If I go with one of you, the others get upset. I don't like that. I'm just an ordinary man. You've given me respect, accepted me as your own. I don't want your relationship to suffer because of me." Hearing this, all the girls fell silent. Their eyes lowered. They understood. Habib had figured everything out. After a while, one girl said, "Habib, we won't let you go anywhere. From today, none of us will complain to you. You just stay here, take care of us like before." After that, they never brought up those words again in front of Habib, but in their hearts, a new kind of competition had begun. Who would be the first to express their feelings to Habib? Because now everyone knew. Just as my heart beats for Habib, so do the hearts of my other friends. Now each girl wished to marry Habib. One by one, each of them told Habib what was in her heart. Some asked for 2 days, some for 3, and said, "In that time you must give us your decision." Habib became overwhelmed. There was love in his heart, but giving an answer was hard. "I can't marry all of you. And whoever I marry, the others will get upset. And who am I anyway? A driver, a worker, living off the money you give me." Finally, he made a decision. He called all 5 girls to one place. They all came together. Then Habib very simply said, "You all are very respected to me. You've given me respect and love. But I'm just a poor Bangladeshi boy. The money you give me, I send it to my parents and manage my own expenses. If I marry one of you, the other 4 will be upset. If I marry someone else, then the 3rd will be angry. And honestly, I can only marry one person. Neither my heart, nor my religion, nor the situation allows otherwise." The girls fell silent. They all lowered their heads. For the first time, there was one question on all their faces. Why did we lose? And for whom would we win? That night, Habib stayed awake in his room for a long time. His heart kept returning to the same thought. Among them, there's one who is different. Calm in nature, silent, and the most caring. That girl immediately came to his mind. Habib stood before her and shared his feelings. "I truly love you. If you feel the same, let's get married and leave for Bangladesh tonight." The girl stayed silent. Then she said, "I can convince my parents that I'm marrying you, but they won't accept that I'll go live in Bangladesh with you." Habib slowly said, "If you truly love me, you'll have to make a sacrifice. I don't want your wealth. I only want you." With tears in her eyes, she replied, "If you can make such a big sacrifice for my love, then I too will accept Islam for you." Habib said from his heart, and simply they got married. The next day they came to Bangladesh. Habib touched his parents' feet and said, "This is my kafil, my wife, and the greatest truth of my life." His parents' eyes filled with joy. They hugged their daughter-in-law, honored her, because she was the one who made their son a man. If you like this story, don't forget to let us know in the comments. Also tell us your name and where you're watching from. And yes, would you like to see part 2 of Habib and the Arab girl's story?